4 very important tips for real health. DESP, a shortcut for desperate. If you're desperate for health, remember this 4-letter word, DESP, D-E-S-P. D stands for diet. When you talk about diet, we think about what nourishes us, what brings us real energy. And what brings us real energy is real food. When you talk about diet, just focus for now for real foods. Foods that you find in nature. Fruits, vegetables, fish, meat, those are real food. Not those in packed. Those are food-like products. According to Dr. Alejandro Janger, those are food-like products. Those are not real food. So don't expect to be healthy if you're eating junk food or food-like products, like the one you see in the aisle in the grocery. So when you go to grocery, just focus on the produced area. If you want to nourish your body well, for proper nourishment and proper energy, focus on real food. Just like the way you take care of your car. You want the best gas, you want the best water or coolant, the engine oil, the transmission oil. Those are the things you put in your car so that your car will last long. Same thing with the food you eat. Second is focus on low-carb food, because we are living in an age where we're eating too much carbohydrates, too much for our body. Of course, if you live the way our ancestors lived before, were in mostly natural, I think it's fine. But now it's so unavoidable. The body is already taking too much carbs. That's why we're getting sick. So focus on low carb food. Second is E. E stands for exercise. It's not necessarily going to gym. Walking around the neighborhood is fine. For me, I don't really exercise, but I walk a lot through my work. Those people who live in the blue zone regions are the areas where people live the longest, where you can see centenarians, people who live 100 years and up. They don't exercise, but they move naturally. They plow their garden, they raise their own food, they walk, they do a lot of household chores. They don't go to the gym. They don't intentionally go outside to do walking. Anything that encourages movement is exercise. Before I go out for work, I spend at least 5 to 10 minutes, just a simple stretching. And then when I go out for work, I do a lot of walking. And then third is S. S stands for sleep. Many of us are not sleeping enough, especially if you do HIIT exercise. You know, HIIT exercise is high intensity interval training. HIIT exercise is one of the best exercise you can do, so that you can develop some muscles, you can produce enough growth hormone for your body. Exercise especially for your brain, to avoid amnesia or Alzheimer's or any mental disorders. Exercise is very, very important to take care of your brain. But if you're not sleeping enough, better not to exercise, because when you exercise, especially when you do high intensity interval training, they call it HIIT, you damage your muscles. And the only way you repair those muscles is through sleeping. Sleep is very important, at least 7 hours a day, which I myself is guilty. So if I don't sleep enough, I avoid not to do much exercise, because it's no use. You damage and you don't repair. Once you damage your muscles and you don't repair, you are endangering your health. Sleep is very important. And last but not the least is P. P stands for purpose. What motivates you to wake up in the morning? You have to have a purpose in life. Very important. If you have that feeling of I don't care attitude, you're in trouble. Your health in trouble. You are not taking care of yourself enough. People don't care much about the food they eat. They live a sedentary life because they lose their purpose. What's the purpose of being healthy? What's the purpose of living a long life if you have no purpose? So very, very important. Think of what motivates you to wake up in the morning. In Okinawa, Japan, Okinawa is one of the blue zone regions where people live the longest. They have this so-called ikigai. Ikigai is what's the purpose of waking up in the morning. What's your purpose? In Nicoya Peninsula, they have this so-called Plan de Vida, which talks about the purpose of life. So these people motivated to do things because they have purpose in life. But if you just go the normal way, go to work, go home, eat, sleep, go home, eat, sleep, life becomes boring and you're not enjoying life. What makes you enjoy life is when you have purpose. Your purpose brings meaning of your life. Without those, don't think about your health anymore. It's useless. That's why people commit suicide, because they lose their purpose in life. Again, remember, for real health, diet, exercise, sleep, and purpose in life. Okay, I hope that will be of great help to maintain your health. One more very important thing I want to emphasize here is that these 4 words for health are inseparable. You cannot just eating a healthy diet, eating whole foods, low carb food, and live a sedentary life. Also, even though you're exercising enough, if you don't eat a healthy food, then you defeat the purpose. Another thing is, even though you eat healthy, you exercise, but you're not sleeping enough, it's also, makes you unhealthy. And last but not the least, even though you're eating healthy, you exercise, you sleep enough, but you don't have purpose in life, then all these ones are useless, because purpose is what makes us joyful. The purpose of life is joy. If you're not experiencing joy in what you're doing in life, then you defeat your purpose. Then there's no meaning. There's no purpose of living. That's why very, very important to think of your purpose. And think of your purpose is you have to live in accordance to the Creator who created you. It should be aligned with God's purpose. Just like this pen. This pen's purpose is for writing. But if I use this to hit somebody, it's defeating its purpose. If I'm not using also, then what do we mostly do if we are not using something? We put them in the garbage because there's no purpose, right? Maintaining our health is almost very similar to maintaining our car. If you have a car, especially an old car, you have to put the right gas, oil for high mileage, something like that. You have to really take care of it. If you're not using the car, at least you start at least once a week. I remember I have an old car and I didn't start for 1 year. When I started, I have hard time starting the car. And some other things I need to fix before it starts again. So exercise is part of starting the car. But also, if you keep driving, you don't let your car rest, it will get overheated. That is similar to sleeping. You exercise, you sleep. And lastly, what's the purpose of driving the car? Where are you going? Those are very important. There's no people who just put the right oil, the right gas, and then just driving and going nowhere. It's just like people who have no purpose. I think people who live for their own selves are the loneliest people in the world. That's why very, very important. Your purpose in life is what really makes you healthy. But again, you cannot neglect the other 3. So again, those 4 important words for health are very important and they are inseparable. So I hope you're eating healthy, you're exercising, you're sleeping well, but most importantly, you're enjoying your life by knowing and living in accordance with your purpose. Because these first 3, your diet, exercise, and sleeping, are there so that you can do your purpose. Remember, you were born for a certain purpose and you have to know that. That's the only way you can enjoy your life. God bless and see you in my next video.